So this is the Uniden SDS100. Just going to walk you through some of this. Not going to go through everything. That would take 3 to 4 hours really to do that. This is a digital scanner. You push down right here on this top button right here, which let me zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. You know what? I'll tilt it down. So right here, you have the volume and squelch control. And so to do this, you push down. So if I push down, you'll see volume, and I can adjust the volume and undo it. If I hold down this little green button here, function, and hit down, now it's to adjust the squelch level. So I'm going to turn this down so it doesn't interrupt while I'm trying to go through all this. So you have right here is you have your function button and your back button. It's also your menu button. So menu, click to go into the menu, click to come out of the menu. This is your function button. So if I go to menu, you have set scan selection, manage databases, manage favorites, set your location, set service types. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here, but one of the things you'll want down here under settings, when you get this by default, is you want to go to battery options. Oh, come on. Set charge while on. Hang on. Lock it in. There we go. Click down, and I have that enabled. What that does is when I plug in the USB port here, when I plug in here, I can plug this into the wall, and it will charge the battery while it is actually on. So by default, that's turned off. So you have the two USB ports, and then here we go. I've locked in, so hopefully the focus doesn't go. But we're going to go back out, just hit menu to back out, and you can set your clock, you can all these things. Now this thing is much easier to program than previous scanners that, and let me focus in again. Previous scanners that I've had, this one's actually much easier. Once you get the software downloaded on your computer, it's pretty easy. I will show you that here coming up in just a little bit. So we're going to go to, where's that? Back out. Set scan selection, and then what I can do is I can select, you can set quick keys, select list to monitor. I have a whole bunch of different lists, which I'll show you how to make in the thing, and you can also go up to search, scan, or full database. So what full database is if you have that turned on, you can down here, you can just enter your zip code, and it will automatically populate everything about a 50-mile radius, but the more stuff you have in there, the longer it takes to scan through everything, so you do miss some things, which is why you really want to program your scanner for what you need. But it is, I have actually traveled across country with this, and as I'm changing cities, and I'll go on Google Maps and look for what zip code I'm in or a town, and then I just hit the zip code down here, and that puts it in. I'm not going to do it because Amazon doesn't like providing personal information. I don't want to say the zip code where I live, so we're not going to do that. But I have all these different counties within Oklahoma that you can scan. And I've got them all turned off now except for Oklahoma County and regional, which is OHP, the Highway Patrol, and things like that. But if I wanted to turn on Cleveland County, I just turn it on. And then when I back out, it's going to load it. So I back out, and it's going to load Cleveland County. And then now it's going to add Cleveland County to what I'm scanning. And so, and you can tell right here, that's what it's scanning as far as a favorite list. So it's scanning Oklahoma, and there's Oklahoma City Police. And if I hit this little, turn the button, I can scan more. Now it's scanning regional. And once it gets through regional, it's going to scan Cleveland County and back to Oklahoma County. If I want to turn that off, I just go back to menu, go to set scan selections, select list to monitor, and I can turn off Cleveland County. Go back. You can manage your full databases. You can temporarily avoid. So if something pops up, let's say a CB station pops up, or weather radio, and you can hit avoid once and it'll temporarily avoid it. It'll stop scanning that channel for as long as this scanner's on. Once you turn it off and you turn it back on, it now scans it again. To permanently avoid or to permanently ban that channel, you would double tap avoid and it will permanently. Then you have to go into manage full databases, stop avoiding all or information, review avoids, and you have to go into your full list and look at, and then unban it basically. That's not the word, but unavoid it. So manage your favorites, set your location. This does have the optional GPS you can hook into this, and it will automatically switch zip codes as you're driving. And if you drive a lot, analyze. There's a whole bunch of stuff here I don't use. There's priority scan. There's weather operation. So you can set for weather scan. You can go to priority scan. You can set that. There's discover, close call, search for, select service types. That one is a good one. So you turn on what you want to scan for. Emergency operations, EMS dispatch, EMS tactical channels. I have fire on, fire tac, fire talk. I have the hospitals turned off, interoperable, law dispatch, law tac, law talk. You can turn on military. There is a couple of military bases around here, and you can actually hear them if that's turned on. Multiple tac, multi-talk, public works, railroads, schools, security, transportation, utilities, racing, if you into racing, race teams, and you can custom set some as well. So there's a whole bunch of these that you can turn on. But again, the more stuff, so aircraft, business, corrections, but the more stuff that you turn on, the longer it takes to scan through and get back, and the more often you're going to miss stuff. So keep that in mind. If you have a lot of stuff you want to scan for, you need multiple radios, and each radio needs to be set for a certain department or a certain city, and so that way you're not missing things. Let's go back out. It's processing. So I think I turned something on accidentally. So the other thing here with this, real quick. So you have these three buttons by default: system, department, channel. These are your lock buttons. So somebody comes on here and starts talking, and an agency, I can lock that specific agency. So let's see if we get somebody to talk coming up. But it doesn't even have to be. If I hit it right now. So Bethel Acres Fire Dispatch. It's locked on Bethel Acres Fire Dispatch. To unlock it, I can undo this. If I hit department, it's locked on Bethel Acres, but it's going to scan all the channels in Bethel Acres. So you're not locked on one frequency. It's scanning everything for Bethel Acres. Undo that. And then over here, system. You can lock an entire system. So Oklahoma. So I've locked Oklahoma in, and everything in Oklahoma County is now scanning, and it's going to scan quickly. And then to undo it, you unlock it. The other great thing this has, and you can set a duration, is you have a replay button. So you have the option to record everything that is scanning. You can actually record. That's an option, but I don't tend to do that. What I do is I use the replay. So if I double click, I'm going to start recording. But if I hit once, see this 1 of 2? Within the last 2 minutes, it's recorded, and I can go back and listen to them. And when it finishes those, replay. Do you want to play again? Yes or no? And I can hit no. And I'm back to scanning. You can also, when you hit replay, while it's doing that, you can hit this button to start going back to scanning. So you can set your replay duration from 30 seconds up to, I think it's 3 minutes. I have mine set for 2 minutes. So it will record, it's recording a buffer for 2 minutes. So, and after 2 minutes, that gets pushed to the back. And then it's not recording silence. So you don't have to sit through 2 minutes of silence. It's only recording when there is transmission. So when I hit replay, we have 3 transmissions that were recorded in the last 2 minutes. Replay, I can go back to no. That's the essential function of this scanner. I think it's a wonderful scanner. I mean, it really is. As long as you don't live in an area with encrypted radios from police and fire, this thing works fantastic. So it's got a big battery. It'll go about 8 hours, maybe 9 hours on a single charge. It does take a while to charge once you run the battery dead. Has this little clip. In my truck, I have two little mounts, and this is the same as a CB radio mic that hangs. You can hang this, just put a little, they're a couple bucks, they stick against your dash, and you can mount this easily. Also comes with a belt clip that clips in here as well. You got the hand lanyard, you have the two USB ports, and then on top you do have a headphone port, and then you have the volume switch and all that. To turn it off, you hold down, it writes to the SD card. Now, to mention that SD card, so under here, let me see, I haven't taken this off in a while. Let me see if I figure this out. I've not taken this off in a while. Oh. So all you do is clip this up and your battery falls out. So there's your battery right there. So you can buy multiple batteries. But down here, there is a micro SD card. Now this will come with a micro SD card, and if you want to pay extra to Uniden, they can pre-program your scanner for you. But it is pretty simple to do if you're computer literate. But there's a micro SD card that has the full database of everything in the entire country on Uniden. And if you hook this up to the software that you program once a month, you can update the entire database. So anything that changes across the country can get updated to this micro SD card. When you turn off that micro SD card, or turn off this thing, any updates, it's going to write to that. So we will just put the battery back in here. I never take this out. I only use one battery. I mean, I've never had a need for more than one battery. Most of the time, if I'm indoors, I'm usually plugging it in and have power going to it anyway, so I don't need to do that. And then when you turn it on, and it's going to write the favorites list that I want to scan, and it's going to start scanning. So now the last thing I want to point out about this scanner. So it comes with this antenna right here. This is not a bad antenna. It's not bad at all. However, it's not great. So I replaced this, and what I replaced it with is actually this right here. So this is an 800 megahertz. Now this is an old antenna, and I'm actually going to switch these out because I put the stock one on here just to do this video. I never use that stock antenna. So this antenna that I'm using, 800 megahertz antenna, I've had this thing for over 20 years. And this I actually originally got at Radio Shack a long time ago. But it's a fantastic antenna, and it's BNC, so you can quickly, of course it wants to stick. Hold on. Of course, I do the video and it doesn't want to come off, but focus here. Wow, that is on there. There we go. So you have this little adapter. And this little adapter screws into the top. The adapter comes with the radio. It's in the thing. And then you can purchase a BNC antenna, which is supposed to click on and off really easily, because I also have an antenna that goes on my truck, the roof of my truck. It's magnetic, and it can click in there in that BNC port as well. Come on. There it goes. And so, yeah, that antenna picks up much better. Much better than the stock antenna. So I go with that. Now, this particular antenna is not available anymore. However, there is one available on Amazon that's very similar to that and works just as well. There will be a link in the description so you can pick that up if you want it. So you can get by with the stock antenna. My dad has the same radio and he uses the stock antenna, although I did tip him off on the new one and he ordered one. So and I think he said the reception did start picking up a lot better. So anyway, that's the Uniden SDS100 digital scanner radio. I think it's excellent. I think it's definitely worth the money. As long as you don't live in an area with encrypted radios, it's going to work great. I have only showed you the basics. If you were buying this and you're just a basic person who wants to listen to scanners, that's what I showed you. There is so many functions in this thing, and if you're a scanner hound and a scanner junkie, I mean, you're going to have a ball with this thing. There's so many things this thing will do that I just don't get into. You can change layouts, you can change all kinds of things, but this does what I need it to do, and I love it.